Hello, CFA Nation. Gabe.
Nick. Woo.
I'm telling you, bro. All I gotta remember is pointing to the bathroom. Oh, there he goes. We're professionals, man. ESPN, here we come.
We're just waiting for the call.
Oh man, Nick, let everybody know. I mean, you guys know from the thumbnail, but I gotta say, we want to know your personal thoughts because here's the thing. I basically today obviously I want Kings 11 in there, but I didn't want KKR to lose because I wanted them to solidify that fourth spot. But as an outside observer who really doesn't have any skin in the game, but yet you do, are you actually happy with the result today? Inquiring minds want to know.
I found myself rooting for Kings 11. Yes, I was very happy. Now, first of all, I'm happy for several reasons, okay? I had a really tough weekend cricket-wise with the teams I'm following,
You
okay?
don't say.
Gabe's only horse in this race, KKR, they're out of there right now. Now, it's not official yet, right? There's still a few matches to go. But right now, he doesn't have one of the teams that he's rooting for in the top four. I have been waiting weeks for this to happen. It finally happened. So I'm feeling great about it. And at the same time, this is what I want, honestly. And maybe this is because I've been a lifelong fan of teams that stink, right? I want the best teams in there. I want the best teams, and we noticed, and the whole cricketing world knows a few matches ago that Kings 11 is one of those best teams. So if they rock it, they should go. And they're following a trend. I don't know if it's every match, but it seems like there's a point in every of the last four wins that they've had where I'm just like, oh, they're not getting this one. They're not getting this one. And then boom, they get that one. I mean, they're an exciting team to watch. A, they've never won a championship. I love that kind of story. B, if they're the best team and they take down my teams, then good on you, because the best team should go on. What I don't want to see is a win by controversy. That's the worst way to lose. If it's not just by skill, by controversy. In my opinion, there was no controversy here. This was a good, clean match, and Kings 11 was able to chase. There's a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and jump into our three
Our
wickets.
three wickets.
That's for
Woo!
KKR and Kings 11. I already spoiled the entire thing. Gabe, what did you – well, you choose where you want to start.
I think I'm gonna start. I'm in a good mood today, and people are gonna be surprised and say, "Why am I in a good mood?" Because although Nick says what he says, here's the thing. Yeah, he was rooting for Kings 11, but not really. Not really. Because RCB wants no parts of him. You know RCB wants no parts of him. No RCB.
Bring it.
Listen, I was on live on Saturday, was it? Saturday, Sunday? No, it was Sunday. I was on live with Najib, and even Najib said there were no parts of Kings 11 because Kings 11 is taking them down twice. All right, so I'm in a good mood, even though KKR lost, but I already told you guys, I thought that they were so inconsistent. I didn't think even if they got into that fourth spot, because of their inconsistency, they were going to be able to make any noise in the playoff. And I still have a dog on our preseason overview. I chose DC. Remember, I put them in as a dark horse. But with that being said, what did I like? Do you even got to ask me? The universe boss. Oh, babe, the universe boss. You disrespected him. You disrespected him. He's too old. He's not fit. Hold on. 4 games, 4 wins, another half century. Gabe, it's so hard to hit a half century. You guys just don't understand. Not for the universe boss. Hold on. The universe boss. Come on. When are you guys going to. Was I right? Was I right? Who was crying from the mountaintops? Thank you, the universe boss. You know, the dugout view said something really interesting today. You literally have teams holding back their spinners because they're afraid of the universe boss destroying them. And then what happens? You're taking them out of their game. When you got that kind of power as a player to completely make you change your approach and go away from your strength, you got to just say to yourself, what's going on? What's going on? Look how late they threw out Chakrabarti, bro, who just got 5 wickets the other day. And they're like, I don't know. Bro, I'm so happy for him, especially because he was peeved. He wasn't one of these old guys that are just in there to collect a check. You know what I'm saying? They could care less whether they play or not. He was generally peeved that people were not showing respect on his name. And I'm so glad that he's come out and been able to show it, all right? What did I like on the bowling side? The one bowler I put in there, Muhammad Shami, went to work, bro. 3 wickets. Now, I was wrong, and I'll tell you right now, in fantasy, I also dropped Bishnoi because I'm afraid of spinners at Sharjah, bro. Literally, you can walk the ball over here. Give me the ball. Hold on. Let me just throw it over there. That's a 6. You know, that's all it got to go. It don't got to travel that far, right? So I don't like playing spinners over there. I think pace and swing is the best option. But Bishnoi also did his job today, so I was wrong there. But I love Muhammad Shami. He put in work. Man, Universe Boss, I let you guys have it. Gabe, you know what? You guys want to crush me for Jordan? Can I get a little bit of love for Universe Boss? Who was calling for him all this season? Now, what did I like on the KKR side? Shubman Gill. Everybody, Shubman Gill's overrated. He's not that good. He's had a bad season. You know why he's had a bad season? Because Narayan for 6 games couldn't score more than 20 runs and kept getting out early. If me and Nick are running a relay race, that's what I look as a partnership as. And every time I'm like, a lap behind when I'm giving Nick the baton, of course he's going to lose the race, cousin. That's just how it goes. He didn't have a true partnership. He was carrying the team. I'm sure Nick probably feels that way sometimes. Man, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Gabe still hasn't posted our 3 wickets. Come on. His back hurts, right? Shubman Gill had the weight of the world on his back because he could not get a partnership. And once again, today, could not get a partnership. Can a brother get on line 8? Can he get a little bit of help? You know what I'm saying? Put Renee Shrana in there, and that's what, I can't wait to talk what I didn't like. But anyway, Shubman Gill did his job, all right? He went ahead and put up another 50. He's not that good. He looked good today. And I was super happy to see that. On the bowling side, what did I like? The best a man could be. I can't even lie. That dude's so good looking. Even if Savannah was looking out the corner of her eye, I'd be like, yeah, I can't blame you, man. He is good looking. You know what I mean? Like, dude, he's a movie star. Let's be honest, all right? Patty Cummins might as well be a movie star. After his career in cricket, don't you think he's going to be like an announcer or something like that? He's going to be there, or maybe he'll be in the dugout view, you know what I'm saying, wilding out with these guys. Once again, economy rate of 775, did not get the wicket, but 31 runs. I mean, this guy is reliable. He's reliable. And I'm like, I enjoyed his performance. I know people were shocked at the $2 million price tag that it cost, but could you imagine KKR without Patty Cummins? Could you? We'd be down there below CSK, and I'm a CSK fan too. You know what I mean? That's how bad it would be. That's what I liked. Nick, what did you like?
The funny thing is, he said before we started recording, he started talking about how, we're going to get this done in 15 minutes. I can do 15 minutes myself, no problem. You just named like 5 or 6 players just on our first segment. On 1/3 of the video, we're already at almost 9 minutes, and I've said like 3 seconds worth of time. Ha! Did you leave me any players? I don't think so. You took everything out of the cupboard right there. I'm like, we're doing what we liked on both sides of the ball and a fielder too? Oh my gosh, we're going to be here forever, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. I was going to say for the Kings 11, I love Bishnoi. This guy is 20 years old. This guy is a baby out there, and he does not look like the pressure has gotten to him whatsoever. He got himself his 2 wickets. He got himself you said there was no partnership. There was a partnership. Gill and Morgan, they went to work, and he was able to get Morgan out. And once he got Morgan out, there was nobody. And then the best performer was Ferguson. He came at the very, very end. He ran out of balls, and then he was able to get Cummins out, the guy you said you liked. Bishnoi is a stud, and he's only 20 years old, and he's playing on a team that needs the best performance from everyone to survive and get to the playoffs, and he's providing that. He has not wavered whatsoever, and it's beautiful to see someone this young who is this good. What did I like on KKR side? Now, Gill, there's been a lot. They're saying that he's going to be the next MS Dhoni. He's going to be the next big thing in India. I say that he has done very, very good for a young kid. He's in that top 10 in runs scored. He put up a half century right here. He hasn't had those consistent performances where he's putting the team on his back. But it's not just his fault where KKR has had their struggles, and they still have gotten themselves in that 5th position. But what did I like? I liked what Morgan was doing here and there. There wasn't a whole lot that I liked. I didn't feel like there was one performer that went above and beyond besides Gill, and you already mentioned that. So I'm really not going to go too much into it. I like the fact that when I watch them, they lose again. My streak is alive. I absolutely love that. You had some good performance. Like I said, Morgan was doing great, but then he got bowled out at the worst time possible. They had an amazing power play. I love their power play. Amazing power play, especially from overs 3 to like 8. It was kind of like an exaggerated power play. They were putting up runs phenomenally, and then the runs just dried up considerably. You're talking about Kings 11 RCB. RCB scores over the weekend would have beat KKR's team. They got 150 and they lost. So, I mean, you're at Sharjah and you only get 149. It still took Kings 11 to the 19th over, almost the end of the 19th over to get to 150. But they still did what they had to do. You talked about Universe Boss. He's absolutely phenomenal. I put him as my captain in Dream 11. He really hooked me up. But I got to mention Man Deep because Man Deep, as they made the puns many times in the dugout, he went deep several times. This guy is man going deep for crying out loud. And I know I'm not the first one to say that. But this guy was phenomenal. You got KL Raul went 28. He goes down relatively early for him, I should say. Early for him. Man Deep and Gayle, that was the rest of the match. That's all you need. Perron, come in and get us our last 2. The guy always comes in and then gets a walk-off every single time. This guy is phenomenal, right? But Man Deep, absolutely phenomenal. 56 balls. He protected those wickets. He got 8 boundaries and 2 sixes. This guy was really, really impressive. That's what I liked. Gabe, what did you not like?
The inconsistency of Nitish Rana. Bro, this is his last 3 games. Duck. Golden duck. 81. Duck. Bro, I almost threw him on my fantasy team, and then I looked back at how inconsistent this guy is, and I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not rock. It's Sharjah. I was so tempted and didn't do it. And here's the thing. You're right. I misspoke. When I said he hasn't had a partnership, I was talking about an opening partnership, okay? Because Nitish Rana, gone early. Chapati, gone early. Dinesh Karthik, gone early. Didn't even score, all right? Then Owen Morgan came in and they established a partnership. What do you always say? In the power play, we don't want to lose 2 wickets. In the power play, they lost like 3 wickets, bro. They were just dropping. Guys were giving them away. I was wondering what's for lunch. There must be something that they want to eat. They got some chicken curry back there. I don't know what they got. Some type of bread pudding.
One of those things on the menu that's only going to be good for about a 30-minute window, and after that, you can't even eat it up. It's just pointless.
Maybe it was like lobster thermidor. I don't even know what lobster thermidor is, people. I just keep hearing them mention it. It was in the Batman cartoon, the Lego cartoon, lobster thermidor. So I'm one day going to go somewhere and just order lobster thermidor just cuz, okay, with extra thermidor. But, you know what I mean, dude? Like, honestly, Nitish Rana, why did they put him? And this goes now to Owen Morgan. I'm going to kill Owen Morgan the way I killed Dinesh Karthik. Your last game, everyone played well, and Nitish Rana worked well at 3. Why change the lineup? Why move him up to 2? Okay, maybe the pressure's different. Maybe he can't handle the new ball. Whatever it is, why change what just worked the game ago? I don't get it. I just don't get it, man. It's so frustrating. What did I not like on the Kings 11 side, other than the fact that I literally wasted a transaction? I could have kept Bishnoi, but I was like, oh my God, Bishnoi and Sharjah, he's going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get Hootie. Not doing it. Well, not only did he not get Hootie, he got him some wickets. I'm so mad at myself about that, but it is what it is. But Mandeep Singh, 66 runs on 56 balls. You talked about his performance, how great it was. Nicholas Perron, 2 on 3. Hear me out. Yes, it's because he was on my fantasy team. But why don't they put Nicholas Perron higher up in the order? Okay, you lost Agarwal, and this is what I'm gonna tell you right now, Nick. You lost Agarwal, right? You realize Agarwal is actually the number 2 in that order because they're not breaking up the partnership with KL Raul and Agarwal. Actually, since Agarwal's been hurt, maybe it's a mental thing. Have you noticed that KL Raul's scoring has dropped? Because he was averaging 50 runs a game. Last 3 games, no Agarwal. All of a sudden, bro, he's at 20. I mean, 28 is good. 38 is good, but he's not giving you his normal, 40, 50 that they always used to do. But why don't they give Nicholas Perron a chance? Why didn't they put him at 2 instead of Mandeep Singh? Like, this kid like you said, he comes in just for 1 or 2 hits and you're done. Give the
Dave,
kid a chance.
you've completely lost your mind on this one. I'm sorry. You've completely lost your mind. Guys, you have my permission. Let him have it in the comment.
You don't want to give the guy a
This
chance?
is 100%, and you mentioned, but it's 100% fueled on fantasy right now. You had your number 2 get you 66. You had your number 3 give you 51. You have K. Raul on a bad day get you 28. And you're saying you want Perron to go higher and push. I mean, they won the game basically with 3 guys.
But my point is, all season long, they bat him so late. It's the same thing like Pollard. Why do they bat Pollard so late? I don't get it. By the time he gets to Pollard, he doesn't really have to do much. And yes, maybe that's a fantasy thing too. But for their own stats, right? Stats matter, not just in fantasy. That's how players get paid. If you weren't looking at the games, Nick, you'd probably look at Perron and say, oh, he's having a bad season. He's not scoring a lot of runs. That's because they don't need him to score runs. He came out his last game, 1 swing, 6, gone, game over. You know what I mean? So that's what I just feel like they're not giving him.
That's the difference with where we're coming from with baseball and cricket. You might have low stats, but it doesn't mean you're having a bad season. It just means you didn't get a chance to go up there. Talking about Pollard, right? Talking about Pollard. He's been the captain the last 2 games because Sharma has been out,
hurt,
sick or whatever, hurt. Pollard kept himself at 5 both times. Even he himself said, I go at 5 on this team. They know their situation. He put himself below Tawari, which you would think what a horrible decision that was. Tawari got 34 off 25 that match. So, I mean, they're going to let you have it on that one, but keep going.
Hey, I'm used to getting crushed. It's all good. But, Nick, honestly, those are the things I disliked. I also, came up with a new term. I dislike that I can't use it today. Okay. But, it's coming. Somebody's itching, just itching. I figured at Sarjar, somebody's definitely getting hootie. But no, nobody got hootie. Nobody I can go in and verbally abuse.
These low scores.
You know what I mean? I'm like, really? Not one hootie? Oh, my gosh. Nick, what did you not like?
The crazy thing about that is the person that gave the most runs today was your man Shami. But and he still bowled well. He got 3 big wickets. What did I not like? I mean, you mentioned him in something that you liked, and I was kind of surprised by that. Pat Cummins, I'm not going to destroy him, but I'm going to say $2 million man. I think they overpaid him by a considerable amount based on what he showed. Does he have the ability? 100%. 100%. I have not seen it. And let me look at the numbers right now because I'm going based off just feel and what I'm thinking from my my gut. Let me see if I'm wrong on this. Let me see. I'm looking at wickets taken by Pat. Yep, there we go. I wasn't too far off. 12 matches, 6 wickets. Okay. You'll take half a wicket a game, fine, whatever. But for $2 million, and he's ranked what? What is this guy ranked? He is ranked number 33, the 33 highest wicket taker, and he's one of the highest paid guys, if not tied with the highest paid.
Yeah.
And it's not just the money. I mean, today, 4 overs, 31 runs. You'll take that economy rate under 8, but 0 wickets. I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say maybe 2 matches in a row without a wicket. He has that big 53 on the batting side, but we found this guy is a batsman too, and he gives you what was it, a duck today?
He got out on. I think he got out on
1 on 8 balls. He got 1 on 8 balls. I did not like that because if I'm a KKR fan, we are trying to hold on to that spot. We've been able to claw and bite our way to hold on to that spot. We need these serious performances like Mandeep gives you on the other side. We need our $2 million man to show us why he's a $2 million man. This team is bleeding. This team is hurting. And he wasn't able to get those. I mean, you talk. I know they still had 7 balls left to go. But you think one of those wickets in the early 10 overs, the first 10 overs would have made a huge difference? I do think
so.
Absolutely.
Right? I agree with that.
And there was a point where Gayle and Mandeep turned it on. I want to say it was like the 15th or 16th over. They turned it on and they made that chase happen in the 19th over. That's what I dislike. I don't think he's not trying. I don't think that he's not interested. I just need a more clutch performance for that guy that if my team's given that $2 million and we got the great Pat Cummins, can we get some of that Pat Cummins on a more consistent basis? That's all I'm trying to say. I love the guy.
It's a fair
observation. I
observation.
love the guy watching the test. This guy, he's got a great attitude. Like you say, he's got the great looks. This guy can bowl. This guy can do it all. I just need a little bit more from that guy. What did I not like from Kings 11? There wasn't too much of an option. Maybe that's why you went with the Perron thing, because there wasn't too many options for what not to like, right?
This game.
What did I not like? Let me look. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm looking at the bowling side. The bowling, Shami was the highest economy, not the highest economy. Sorry. He was the highest run giver. There we go. There we go. I found one, but I don't hate this performance, right? But Maxwell, okay? We've been talking about Maxwell. This guy is, in my opinion, the luckiest guy. Now, he got a wicket today, and you bowled him in the opening over, right? The opening over, you bowl him. You only gave him 2 because he was leaking runs. His economy rate was 10.5, highest economy rate, I believe.
Right.
And Maxwell, he did not get in the game because he didn't get a chance to. But this guy has not performed consistently at the bat or on the bowling side consistently, and he stayed in there in the entire season. We may look at KL Rahul, and we made a different comment not too long ago, as the best captain in the IPL, and let me tell you why. He might be the biggest genius of all time, where he said to himself, I know what Chris Gayle can do, but I'm worried about his age. I'm worried about a long season post-COVID. I'm going to bench him, and I'm going to tick him off for 7 or 8 games. I'm going to let that tsunami stir up inside his belly. And then when we give him the go and we're down by a lot because the experiment failed, I'm going to see the universe boss at work. And he may not want to come back to us. He doesn't have a choice next year. He may not want to come back to us, but at that point, he'd be 43 or 44. KL Rahul might be the greatest genius of all time for how he played Chris Gayle.
You think he's an evil genius that he thought about it?
And he got a catch. He got a catch today. Talk about not being able to field. What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
No, I was saying, you think he's an evil genius? Actually, the dugout view said something interesting today. They're like, this may be the best version of the universe boss we've ever seen, because he's playing with a purpose. There was a point where, I don't know if you noticed it, but Mandeep Singh was hot, and he actually turned over the strike to him willingly. And I forgot, it might have been who's a real funny one on there
I still don't know their names.
It's
I know the short blonde hair guy, not Brett Lee, the other blondie.
The other blondie, not Brett Lee, the other guy. He is hilarious. He was like, did the universe boss just voluntarily give a strike? I don't think I've seen that my entire career. He made me sick. I was laughing. But then Brian Lara's in there with them, right? Is that who the other person is?
I don't know if he was there. He was there today, but he's usually in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying that this is probably his favorite version of him, because he's thinking.
Yes, I heard that comment. Yep.
He's not being selfish. He's being selfless. And maybe you're right. Maybe this lit a fire on them. I don't know. But I'm like, they're like, this is the best version of Universe Boss at 41. And he's like, he's had other seasons where he goes out and destroys the ball. But with that same attitude, he sometimes can get himself out early, not thinking about, hey, this other guy's hot. Let me just turn over the strike to him. And that was what they were the most impressed with. So maybe you're onto something. KL Rahul may be an evil genius.
I mean, he's such a nice guy, so maybe not evil genius, but I know what you're saying. One thing that's interesting that they made in the dugout, and this is not connected to anything I dislike. That's what I dislike. There wasn't much I dislike in Kings 11. They did a great job. One thing they made an interesting comment about Shubman Gill is it was in the 19th over. I'm looking at it right now. This guy was doing his Shubman Gill thing. He did a great job. I don't want to take away from that. But there was a point where he didn't want to rotate the strike. He hit a easy single, and he didn't want to move because he wanted to stay at strike, which we've seen that from time to time. But in the 19th over, when you've got like 140 runs, you need as many runs as you can get. And right. This one guy, I think it was the same guy, was killing him in the dugout. And he went out on a limb, I thought. Like that was a bad call. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do that. And the very next ball, he hit it, caught by Perron, and he was done. He said, that's why you don't do that. You're thinking too much about what this or that and trying to be greedy, and then you try to hit that ball and you get yourself out. He said that would have never happened if you would have rotated the strike. You would have gotten the run. I thought it was an interesting point. Point. These guys, they get more heated than we do, which I appreciate because it doesn't make us look so bad sometimes. But anyways, that's what I dislike. I don't want to destroy Gill's whole performance, but I did think that was an interesting point. Gabe, what'd you learn?
Make it simple. DC, you're on notice.
Yep.
Mumbai Indians, you're on notice.
How dare you?
RCB, you're really on notice.
I'll say it.
I'm gonna put myself out on a limb right now. They got to make just one more move, and I think this is the championship team. And everybody would say, oh, bandwagon jumper, whatever. I could care less. I told you guys at the beginning of the year, I thought this team had talent, but why weren't they playing universe balls? I think Glenn Maxwell should be dropped. Give me Cottrell back. He may be expensive. Give me Cottrell back, and I'm going to tell you right now, there's problems in the playoffs. Because this team is, if you can get Mandeep Singh, I don't need 66 from him. Just give me 30 or 40. Give me some consistency. Perron doesn't even get the bat most times. We're forgetting this happened with no Agarwal. Agarwal hasn't played, 2 games now, 3 games? Yep. He's been injured. Can you imagine when they're back at full strength, Nick, and you've got KL Rahul, Agarwal, the universe boss. Now we can put Mandeep Singh in there at 5, and then Perron at 4, and then you can put Perron in there at 5. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. And then on top of that, the bowling, give me, you already know, Chris Jordan, it's not a fluke, people. One game is a fluke. He's been, even the game before the one where I had to take back my words and eat my crow, this guy has started bowling a lot better. But today, 4 wickets, 25 runs, 2 overs. He had an unbelievable over where he only gave up like 2 runs, I think it was, 3 runs, something like that. He's back, guys. Death bowling, solved. Batting woes, solved. The entire league, the top 3, you're on notice. What did I learn? This may be the team that's going to take the IPL 20 season championship. On the other side, what did I learn? Simple. Inconsistency. Whether it's Owen Morgan or whether it's Dinesh Karthik. Somebody explain to me. Nitish Rana, 80 runs or 81 runs in the 3rd spot. So I'm going to mess with that today and put him up in the 2nd spot. Why do they hit Karthik? Tripathi, excuse me. Why do they hit Tripathi? The kid does just fine in the 2nd spot. He actually did just fine the game before in the 2nd spot. What did he do? All right. He's on somebody's no-no list. Okay. Because they're like, no, you will not get the opening partnership. No, he's getting punished. He's getting punished for whatever reason.
Basically got the opening partnership because Rana went down on 1 ball.
Good point. But, and again, you're not going to count on Narayan to give you 60 to win like he did the last game. Really? I was already saying without Russell, this team's in trouble. We need Russell back in the worst way. And I just don't see the captaincy there this year that's going to carry KKR. I may be wrong, but it's not going to propel them to the championship. Maybe they sneak into the playoffs, but I don't trust KKR against Mumbai Indians. I don't trust them against DC. Certainly not DC. And, RCB up and down, RCB and them, that's a coin flip. So for me, at this point, it is what it is. Nick, what did you learn?
So I didn't really learn too much from this match. I didn't think KKR was a super strong team as far as top 4. They proved to me that they weren't. Kings 11, they're on this kind of streak. They're doing things they're supposed to do. Chris Gayle, you have to have him on that squad. They have him on that squad. They're doing great things. But I want to talk about what you're saying right there because you're throwing a little bit of shade to my RCB, and I got to defend them for a second. You love DC, and you're holding on to that flag even though that ship is sinking. Those 3 top teams, they're all tied right now for the same amount of wins, the same amount of points, okay?
I know.
You put RCB like in this, like the kids table, and they're at the big boy table. And you're ready to move more people to the big boy table, and RCB is like, we're still at the kids table. Like, we've been here all season. Why can't we get to the big boy table? Let me explain something to you. And I hope people can follow me on this. We're going to have a video, which is probably already posted, or it's getting posted pretty soon, on our thoughts on the India international squads. They got announced. It was released today, okay, or yesterday, depending on when you're watching this. Who do you think plays a big part on the selection of all those 3 squads, 3 different formats? A man named Virat Kohli, okay? Captain of all 3 for crying out loud. Yep. Big decisions. They had not the best match this last weekend against CSK, right? They announced the teams. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The teams have been announced. That part is done. You think it's easy to captain an IPL, and I'm not giving him an excuse. Hear me out. This is just my thoughts. You think it's easy to captain an IPL team, run that team, get yourself to the playoffs, and you've got to do selections for 3 different international squads? Is there anyone else in the IPL doing that right now? I don't think so. So this guy, that thing's put to bed. And your international teams, you got to make sure that's pat because you have 1 billion people, 1.3 billion people that are counting on you, right? That's done. Distractions out of the way. IPL, here we come. Matches, here we come. Playoffs, here we come. Don't sleep on my friends RCB. Don't sleep on them whatsoever, because they are going to get themselves to the playoffs. Mumbai and DC, they showed this week, and they got a little bit of RCB in them, right? Mumbai was able to put up 195 and couldn't defend that. I mean, yeah, they couldn't defend it. Come on. And Mumbai's my team. Don't sleep on RCB. Distractions out of the way. I'm excited to see what happens. At the same time, I'm going to give a little respect to the rest of the IPL. I'm not 100% confident and guaranteeing that those top 3 teams, that one of them might not be bounced out at the end. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's where this IPL is at this year. That's where these matches the next few weeks, next few days are so important. That's what I learned. Is I'm excited to see what can my man Virat Kohli do now without any distractions.
And if it sounds like I'm throwing shade, I'm not. I think Virat Kohli, honestly, even though KL Rahul is the best batsman, you know what I mean, overall in IPL, I still think Virat Kohli is a better player, hands down. And I've already said captaincy in cricket to me just makes no sense. There's way too much pressure. You got to focus. I think, honestly, that's also what's going on with Steve Smith. He answered that question a couple of interviews ago when who was it that got blown up in one inning, and he was like, well, hindsight's 20/20, ain't it? You know what I mean? And he was just like so short with the reporter when they asked him the question, why did you not bowl Archer in the 19th? Who did he bowl, guys? Udicat. And he was like, well, I thought that he was bowling well all day, and hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? And I was like, wow, that was a kind of sharp answer, because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You know what I'm saying? If you put Archer there and he gets blown up, then they're going to say, well, Udicat had been bowling well all game. Why didn't you put him in there? Yeah, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback, so I get it. You're right. Virat Kohli probably has one of the hardest jobs because he's the captain of all 3 international teams, and he's also the captain of his IPL team. A lot of pressure on him. My biggest issue is, Nick, that's why I'm asking. In my opinion, spinners just have not been working out in the IPL this year. Probably because in the UAE, whatever it may be. If I'm looking at pure teams and construction, yes, you got to be able to bowl because you got to be able to defend. I'm taking the combination of Pattinson and Bumrah and CNC. And that night, gosh, keep going, because Mumbai Indian has everybody that could bowl. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Can I have another? They're just deep, super deep. I'm taking that. I'm taking DC, who's got Norkia and Rabada. That's why I said I'll take Katral with his pace. Give me Katral over Maxwell, along with Muhammad Shami. Now, where are your 2 studs that you're going to throw out? Chahal, again, a spinner, dangerous. And I'm talking about RCB, right? Morris, again, shaky. That's the only issue. But I agree with
my friend. Chahal is top 5 in the league in wicket. I know. And he's a spin bowler. You just said spin bowlers aren't being successful.
You're right.
Here and UAE. He's got the magic formula, and he's a spin bowler. Morris, you just said he's only got 6 matches. He's already got 10 wickets. He's already on the leaderboard. Those are our 2 horses right there. And don't forget, we got many more guys that can get us some big wickets. They've gotten it all year. I want another established batsman. That's what I'm more worried about. But you never know what can happen. Siraj and Sundar, don't sleep on them as well. They have some guys. Anyways, if you're a KKR fan, if you're a Kings 11 fan, I apologize for not giving you too much love in the I Learned segment, but this was a pretty cut and dry match, right?
Question: is it time to play the funeral song for KKR? Or you think they're not out yet?
No, not at all. They got enough points to stay in there. No. Put that on pause. Put that on pause. My guy's going out for their inning. Come on. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for checking us out. And until next time.
That's 6 runs.